Even before I knew the weight of a school bag behind me, I knew the weight of coins in my pocket. No one will hate you and tell you what to do right.
Tell us what motivated you to get into politics.
I think it's the real policies that Ghanaians have felt, dreamt of, and as experienced. When it comes to the education sector, it has saved a lot of us. When it comes to the transport system sector, it has saved a lot of people
in life. So what do you think about 9 to 5?
We forget there are people who have been active in this 9 to 5 business and have rose all the way from normal salespeople to becoming managing directors. And so I don't think giving up is something so upset. It's an option, but when you give up, you don't have to stop, because sometimes you need time to regenerate energy and come back stronger. And I always tell people that people who start and don't finish whatever they want to do is as a result of lack of determination and a twitch in their psychology. All taking insights from all these people, both those who have dropped out, those doing well, those heading towards valedictorian stages, refurbished my idea about what I was entering into. So there are times that you may want to chase passion, but what your parents are telling you is the real deal. And there are times that what your parents is telling you isn't the real deal. Your passion is the real route to your success. So there are places that you may enter with passion where reality will go against you. And there are places that you may enter with reality where passion may go against you.
Where, facing some financial difficulty, and even to where we've got into. When did you actually see some kind of, stability? I say, now things are a bit okay, so let me focus and then do more. Where did you begin seeing that?
Wait, a lot of things are working out for me. I'm gaining influence. People are listening to me and they are being inspired. But Ubisame say, when did I really see that I have become stable? It was when I found purpose in what I do and what I love, and it sustained me, and I kept moving day in and day out with it.
Great. This has been very insightful from how you grew up to this point. From now, I would want us to get into the second session where we would look at your writing journey. So viewers, if you're enjoying this program, kindly subscribe and then like our content. Now we look into writing journey. Yeah. When did this start? What inspired you into writing?
So a young guy who is very enthusiastic about reading. I really love to read, even in my younger stages. When I remember somewhere in class 4, I could spell some crazy words that it would look crazy for a class 4 young boy to spell. As such, I have found passion in it, just like I have passion in health. And I already told you that everything I do is being carried by passion, right? So I have passion in reading. And the more you read, the more your vocabulary becomes polished, the more your writing skill becomes, enlightened. And so I wrote a first script down called Live Like Einstein. Live Like Einstein was talking about myself, right? Comparing myself from how Einstein also came from a very poor background. And Live Like Einstein was talking about how Albert Einstein, who is a prolific, and a very known, intelligent scientist, came all the way from a very poor background to becoming one of the bigger names in science we mentioned today all over, and in the levels of science when you're studying or when you're pursuing a part of science. And so Einstein was just a young guy who, in a little village, didn't have anything, was coming from a very poor family, just like I am. And so I was comparing myself to Einstein. I was looking, and I'm very brilliant, and so I saw a perspective of myself from the Einstein perspective. And so the whole book, Live Like Einstein, was looking at my journey, comparing it to that of the journey of Albert Einstein, and how Albert Einstein found purpose in writing scientific journals, and how I found purpose in writing maybe fictions. But I also write scientific journals. I have I have a publication even now on academia on how green catalyst, is used to bring about aspirin. And so, the passion for writing shows everywhere in my life. When it comes to the pharmacy part, the writing shows. When it comes to even the olden astronomy part of me, which I have placed aside, I still have the passion to write stuff about astronomy. And so, some say what really inspired my writing journey, like I just say a passion, but what brought about the whole consistency to go, I'll give a credit to the people who read and the people who review me. I have another book called Serendipity, which talks about how I started from scratch, where I was, how God has brought me here, um, some things I encountered. It even talks about my love life, and so mostly I say that um I didn't have so much good relation when I was young because now, if we sorry to say, if we here for right, growing up, I felt say I should be isolated because me wanna say it's California Perry up, but there was a time in life I noticed even the rich, they value the intelligence I had, right? And so some of them they kept speaking into my tympanum. They kept hitting my eardrums with good messages. You can be like us. Someone like Polazuri, I would always mention his name on every platform I go. Polazuri is a very intelligent guy. He completed OVAS. He was a peace boy in OVAS. Moved out of science and became one of the greatest computer engineers we have here in Ghana. He's the inventor of Kaya AI, right? And so all these people were talking to me. Someone like Prophet Prakash Pine. All these people I had contact with because it got to a time I noticed my my reservedness was hurting me. The feel was saying I'm through here for moon, so I had to stay out of anything socialization, anything combining, anything coming with into the the gathering of people was worrying me because I felt the real game was in the minds of partnership. And so I had to come out. Julian had to come out. I had to break out of it. And so if you ask, I always say that I break out and read out of poverty. I started, coming into relationship with people, coming into contact with people. What they were telling me, I was putting into consideration. I was taking them to notice. I was practicing them. And over time, Benedict, it was just like a dream. Everything started working. Every single step in life I was taking was working because I had, thrown away that part of myself that sounded say I had to be reserved because I'm if you here for me be in pana me tie nkofo enuma say me tie nkofo stories maybe mine was better than theirs or theirs was better than mine. Some were from rich families but decided to leave home to chase their own life game. But mine, I was from a very broke family, very poor family. And when you start with here from Ghana, like poverty is painful. And so as such, now my second mentality say, oh, here need it. And what's me bang, ni probably but oh, thanks to God. When I came into contact with people, they have changed my life. But I do say, in as much as I came into contact with people, and I came into contact with very influential and very benefiting people, as a young guy, as a young girl, when you be Anna in the scratch of your career, you must relate with because some don't even have a vision, some don't have a purpose for their own lives to even inspire us. And so, I would give a little advice here. In as much as I came into contact with people, I came into contact with influential and great people who, saved my mindset, trimmed my pathway, and caused a stain in my spirit and in my mentality to do greatness in the writing field.
So, do you have writers who inspire you?
Yeah. So coming up, I've been reading a lot of books from Warren Buffett. I've been also reading a lot of books from some African writers. Like I read one book from Temi Otodola recently. I read a lot. So if you ask me, my top my top writers, I would say Warren Buffett, and I'm not. Recently, I'm gaining interest in listening to podcasts, to listening to inspirational stories, and so I also say that my favorite book actually is Rich Dad Poor Dad, right? And so I read a lot, but my topmost writer is Warren Buffett. Topmost
At
writer.
this point, I would ask you, how do you handle negative feedback or criticism?
Good. So in a society, you must be ready for everything, both positive and negative. Uh, I accept criticism. I accept correction. I don't see it like criticism. I see it as a correction because I feel like no one will hate you and tell you what to do right. So those who are criticizing me are those who are giving me honest feedbacks. And so I do follow it. I do what they are saying, get my customers to like me, get my reviewers to see that I am doing what they are saying. And so I get them to know that Julian listens. And as such, the more they feel like you're listening to them, the more they buy into your mentality because they show you were a great leader, because great leaders do listen. And so I listen from them, they listen for me, and it keeps me influential, it keeps me active in the game. So yes, I accept negative criticism, I accept negative feedback in good faith, the same way I accept positive feedbacks, because I feel like yes, they are the honest ones, and they are the honest ones, and they are the ones that would keep us in, will keep us influential in the game and beneficial to the people who listen to you. Because the people who listen to you, Benedict, are those who give you those feedbacks. Say, me head Deriben, right? Now, me impress something about Deriben. I keep it in my head. And I always go to your YouTube channel and I dislike it, right? I'm destroying your brand. Sorry. It would be great that I come to you and tell you that, Echo, I don't like this about your YouTube channel. You change it, and now I come to like your YouTube channel. I come to love your YouTube channel. And what happens now is that I also, do recommend it to someone else, and then I'm still building your brand, even though I was giving you a negative feedback. And so, if you ask me if I do take negative criticism, yes, I do. I do take them, and I take them in good heart.
Can you share a favorite piece you've written and what it means to you?
So I do have three solid books that have made great impact on the market and in the life of a lot of young, you know, men and women. But the one which really inspires me is the serendipity. For I feel I resonate more to serendipity because serendipity is basically me. As basically a biography. It's basically what I have passed through. It's basically my refinery. Where I came from, how I got here, and how it looks nice here. And so the favorite piece of myself I've read is Serendipity. And what I've learned from Serendipity is that everything is possible. Absolutely everything under the sun is possible and can be earned. Right? And so I had this whole dream of becoming a doctor. I can need determination. Right? It was going to die because finances would have held me back. But you know, I really sculptured a lot of things in that book. So serendipity is my framework. I call it my framework. But serendipity talks about me. It talks about the parts of me that people didn't really see. It even talks about my love life. It talks about a lot of things about me. And people do read and resonate with me. They do read and they buy, a good share into my journey. So yes, serendipity, one of the things I wrote, I really cherish, and I read it over and over again, over and over again. And next time I can't serendipity, I read there is a chapter in its epilogue too, which is titled "The Pure Water Seller's Son." I do read it almost every day because it reminds me of where I'm coming from and what I have envisioned in the journey.
Right. So at this juncture, we are almost reaching into the last part of this discussion. That's the third part.
Yeah.
And I think the conversation is getting more and more interesting.
Yeah.
So from here, I will go straight into politics, where I wouldn't restrict you.
Yeah.
Tell us what motivated you to getting into politics and your affiliation. Tell us about it. I won't restrict you. Just talk. Convince me. As a politician, if you convince me.
Wait, so I am affiliated to the New Patriotic Party by the MPP. And so, yeah, I'm a loyal Blue boy. I'm a loyal Blue Party boy. But if I have to tell people why I choose the MPP, and I always talk about the ideologies of the MPP. One thing that made me buy into the whole political party, the New Patriotic Party, is the ideologies and policies they have given to the people of Ghanaians over the years. So, Benedict, you do side with me that President Kufuor, what about free maternal care, right? Or the free maternity care by where even women who were pregnant and didn't have, enough money to deliver,
Yeah, that's true.
delivered for free, right? In our government hospitals. And these are all policies of the New Patriotic Party. Free or no, NC. Or the Kufuor bars by, which became a 10 increase in the productivity of our transport system. So recently, okay, I said when there were transport issues, Omukoya, and they saw that the only solution to this transport issue is to re-energize the Kufuor bus, which is the Metro Mass Limited, right? And so we had the ideologies and the things that the NBP has put in place for the people of Ghanaians are. I think it's real policies that Ghanaians have felt, dreamt of, and has experienced. Like Ghanaians have held policies. Like policies are abstract. They are things that you see implemented. But I thought that the policies of the NPP has been held by Ghanaians. They have held it. They have felt it. They have bought into it. They have seen it with their eyes. Like, look at free senior high school. Kufuor ama okwanya ama wawo for free, right? His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo Aba. He's implemented free senior high school. Afi akwala na wawo free, NPP say monko the basic diploma. The basic diploma is senior high school degree or a certificate, right? MPP say fanebra onkonya the basic diploma or the neko senior high school for free. Hey, just look at this. And ordinary free senior high school for free, or also they, I have already spoke of STEM. Or also a part of it, it would help those, I would say, that need a practicality to even survive. So was also implement STEM. So if you ask me why I chose the MPP there, Benedict, I would tell you that I'll keep on and continue to be a loyal Blue Party boy, because the party's ideologies have saved the people of Ghana drastically. When it comes to the education sector, it has saved a lot of us. When it comes to the transport system sector, it has saved a lot of people. It got to a time now, Metro Mass, Neko, all these long distances in the country. And as such, not just okay, you need Metro Masses are okay, but you be still you should that our olden, wooden car transportation style now, and I said, so the MPP as a party, they have brought into life practical policies, and their ideologies have saved Ghanaians drastically. Their ideas have been felt, and their ideologies is still ruling Ghana. Then the New Democratic Congress is still ruling the country now, but I'll tell you for a fact that they are ruling Ghana with aid from a lot of things we put in place as a political party when we were in power, even though we are in opposition and we are not doing stuff anymore. So my political affiliation is something that will never change. Benedict, I would keep on being with the New Patriotic Party over and over and over and over again, because I believe, say, the New Patriotic Party has saved Ghanaians.
Well, that's good. I mean, you're an MPP boy, and I do understand.
Yeah.
And from where you're coming from, their policies have somehow helped you to get to where you are.
Good. Myself, I wouldn't. Myself, I come into me because in high school, if money, if it wasn't for
free
fees, yeah,
education. Yes,
yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
So now I want to ask two more questions before we end. The first one is, how do you see 9 to 5? Honestly, not everyone can run a business,
Yeah.
and I will never talk down on 9 to 5, because even with 9 to 5, if you plan your life for advance yourself academically and develop yourself with much more skills needed in your area, you would also do well in life. So what do you think about 9 to 5?
Wait, so uh, the 9 to 5 job, which is the normal job system here in Ghana, is not a bad thing. I do see people talk against it because it may or may not pay so much for you. You know, money is relative. A good amount of money is relative. Maybe a 10,000 is come me, but maybe a 10,000 is come out. And so, obi who say maybe if your 9 to 5 is paying you a 5,000, ketewa man, because a bit me at now computer I have something part time to even get that 5,000 Ghana cedis. But we forget, say, there are people who have been active in this 9 to 5 business and have rose all the way from normal salespeople to becoming managing directors. I know a woman who,
They earn very well.
yes,
They earn good money.
very good money. I know a woman who started with Absa Bank as a teller, and now she's a managing director of a branch of AXA Bank here in Ghana, and she's driving the best of Toyota Land Cruisers. And so I do not antagonize the whole field of 9 to 5 job in Ghana, but myself, I'm a person who, as a result of the kind of people I've had around me, someone like Honorable Kennedy Ohine Japan has psyched my mentality to creating businesses, to becoming an entrepreneur on my own. So even though I may be a doctor, which is still a 9 to 5 job, I still have a very stern interest in becoming an entrepreneur, like creating something with my hand. And so mostly I tell people that I do not want to create jobs. Neither do I want to bring some, but I want to create assets. I want to create something that will be a system of cash flow for the upcoming generation. So recently I told someone on an interview that I believe that if I plant seeds that will grow into trees that I may not even enjoy the shades of, then I think I'm making the place I find myself in to be a good place, because to me in the end now remember maybe do seeds, right? But maybe in a 12 years time it becomes trees that are giving shades to people. I feel I'm making the place I find myself in a better place, right? And so as such, yes, I want to be an entrepreneur, even though I may or may not find myself in a 9 to 5 job arena. But I don't speak against the 9 to 5 job, because a 9 to 5 business is what has kept somebody also influential. It is what has also kept somebody benefiting so much than even somebody who is an entrepreneur. 9 to 5 jobs, and I'm a guy. It has made people established. And so in as much as I do not say I want to be a 9 to 5 worker, I don't speak against 9 to 5.
Definitely, I also don't speak against it, because we can all not run and own businesses. Some people are also supposed to be in that side for things to move.
Yeah.
For
now when you be obey 9 to 5, a high one or the call bank.
Yes, I get it. So right now, your final words to our viewers.
So I will be biased over here, but I would take it from two perspectives. I will speak to the youth. When I'm done, I'll speak to the entire.
Can you include something about mentorship? When you're growing up, you should have someone you look up to with your final words when you're looking at the youth. So if you can do something.
So it's just a part of what you asked me, my final words. So I look up to a lot of leaders because I'm a politician. I look up to a lot of leaders. My godfather, Honorable Kennedy Ohine Japan. I look up to him when it comes to business and entrepreneurship. I look up to Donald Trump when it comes to boldness and precision. Even though Honorable Ken has that boldness, I feel Donald Trump has he has an extra mile of that boldness. I look up to him when it comes to that. And I look up to Obama when it comes to diplomacy. I look up to Barack Obama when it comes to diplomacy with kindness. Barack Obama was a senator, became a president, still was kind, still was working out with the normal people of the United States of America, still was showing up when the people of United States of America, like him. And so if you monitor my Twitter page, you see that I'm always quoting and talking about Barack Obama if I'm not talking about Donald Trump, or I'm not talking about Honorable Kennedy or Japan. And so to the youth coming up, you must get influential people in your life. They may be direct. So mine to Kennedy or Japan is direct, but to Donald Trump and to Barack Obama is not direct. I'm praying that one day I may meet them in person, physical, have a feel of them the way I do have the feel of Honorable Kennedy or Japan. But coming up, you must have people who would shaping your mindset, shaping your pathways, inculcate something delicate into your whole life being. Sometimes you may be doing the right things, but let me tell you the truth. There is nothing right you can do over and over again without guidance. Let me go off a while. Let me use Justin Bieber for an example. Justin Bieber was a good musician, a good singer. Justin Bieber could perform and fill a whole, a very huge land, filled with just audience and listeners of true lovers and true fans. But what happened when he went upset, when he went off mentorship, when he went off advice? He started facing a lot of, depression, a lot of negativity from what the world was bringing to him. So he wrote a song. A part of the song says that everybody knows my past now. So it looks like he was becoming depressed just because he wasn't getting the appropriate guidance and the appropriate, mentorship to keep going in his journey. I thought that if he had influential and very good people, advising him, he would have done better. Now to the young people, the normal young people, the normal young guy here in Ghana, JHS, senior high school, university, national service, I want to tell you that you can do it. Everything you set your hands on, everything you set your mentalities on, you can do it. And nothing is impossible. Just as I said during the course of my interview, my name is Julian Yamecha Osei, and I'm telling you right here on Success Diaries that if a young boy from a very poor background, like I am from, has made it to this stage and has had a good connection with very influential people and is inspiring a lot of young guys, then why not? You can also make it. Every field you find yourself in, if it is law, if it is medicine, if it is pharmacy, if it is architecture, if it is photography, if it is videography, if it is football, if it is music, I want to give you this thing. Do it well, do it right, find good mentors, follow their pathways, follow their pathways, step in their footsteps, listening to advice, and you kill it.
This has been very inspiring, viewers. I'm short of words and I don't know how to end this show now. But this has been Success Diaries. Today we came all the way from Fred Gift Enterprise at the Accra Art Center, shop number 150. I repeat, Fred Gift Enterprise at the Accra Art Center, shop number 150. I mean, today I'm short of words for the kind of conversation we've had today. It's been nothing short of inspiring. And I think if you want us to be doing more of this, you should subscribe to our channel, share to your loved ones and even haters, and then drop your comments as well. How do you find the program? What are the things you would want us to input? And if you have suggestions, you can drop them as well. This has been Success Diaries on the Rebel Life, and I'm your usual host, Benedict. Thanks for joining us. And until next time, keep learning, keep evolving, and keep doing your best in everything you do.